All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. We are looking ahead to week 11 of marathon training. We're going to kind of look ahead and see what it is that this week's going to bring for us. If you guys watched my last video, we kind of looked back at week 10, and we saw that was a big week of training. That was a high level of training. So for me, I hit 70 miles. Again, I'm not a super high mileage person. I know that there are marathoners out there that are running 80, 100, 120 miles a week. For me, 70 is a lot. Being more of a steeplechase, 5K, 10K type person, I never really hit those massive, huge volumes. In college, I never even ran the 10K in college. Like, it was all 1,500 steeple, 5K. Now post collegiately, leaving the 15 behind a little bit. I'll go back and do those from time to time, but really more 5K, 10K, steeplechase type stuff. So, again, 70 miles a week was a big week last week. This week, the idea is I want to keep the aerobic volume high, but probably needing to bring the volume or the mileage, the running mileage, down a little bit. So what does that mean? I know that kind of sounds like I want to do one thing, but then do the exact opposite. So what I want to do is still keep the total time and volume of aerobic work up, but take some of the pounding off my legs. I think that's partially why, maybe I am so fatigued going into this week. So let's bring it up. Let's look at the training for the week, and we'll kind of talk about what that actually means. So if we look at the week, the idea is, if you notice, that there's not a whole lot this week, because I am in such a high volume segment of training right now. I'm kind of bringing the intensity down a little bit. Last week I had a lot of intensity, but not a lot, but I had a fair amount of intensity, quite a bit of volume. This week, because I know I'm feeling tired, I don't think I could replicate last week again this week. I do realize I kind of need to bring things down a little bit, but I don't want to bring them down too much. So if you notice, there's really one workout and one long run this week. Okay, the one workout, I'm going to do 5 by 2 kilometer repeats at marathon pace. The whole idea of that workout, physiologically, not going to get a whole lot of it. Okay, the whole idea of that workout is more psychological and rhythm work. Okay, finding that rhythm and tying that feeling of how I feel at that speed to my body and getting it ready for race day. Okay, so again, I don't do a whole lot of these types of workouts. Again, physiologically, there's not a whole lot going on there, but it's more psychological than anything else, and just getting my body in that rhythm of finding that pace. Okay, so we'll do that Wednesday. Saturday we'll do the long run. This is a trail week, so we'll head out. We're looking at about 2 hours and 45 minutes probably for that long run. We're just gonna go in the trails and go. I don't know how far mileage we're gonna get, but we're gonna go up there and be like, oh, let's just go run. Luckily the temperature has been kind of coming down a little bit. We had a hot stretch there for a bit, but things are starting to come back down to be a little bit more manageable, a little bit more moderate. So hopefully that'll be nice for the long run this week. But yeah, those are the big parts of the week. Other than that, it's a lot of volume, just getting a lot of mileage and stuff in. So I keep saying I want to keep the mileage lower, but I want to keep aerobic capacity up. So what that means is I'm probably gonna have 1, if not 2, cross training days. Okay. What I'll probably end up doing is do like a light run in the morning and then a bike ride in the evening, or vice versa. Where I'm still running pretty much every day, but I maybe, instead of going for a 10-mile run, might do a 5-mile run and then an hour on the bike, something like that. So that way I'm still, the time that I'm working that aerobic system is still up, but I'm kind of taking some of the other stuff off of my body the other directions. So that's really kind of what this week is going to look like. Also, the way I'm feeling going into this week, I wouldn't be surprised if I decide to take a day off as well. Looking back at my training, it's been close to 2 weeks since my last day off. And the way that I'm feeling kind of leading out of this week, or this last week, I got a feeling it's going to be early in the week that I'm probably going to take that day off. Again, could I run that day? Yeah. Could I have a higher volume and higher mileage for the week? Yeah. Would it be nice? Yeah. Am I going to be able to get through the week and be healthy and be able to do next week's training? Probably not. Because the problem is, we keep saying the further we dig the hole, the harder it is to dig ourselves back out of the hole on that recovery week. So the idea is to kind of dig that hole down, but not dig too far down that we can't get back out. So I still want to kind of get that work in this week. I just don't want to put myself in too much of a deficit. Especially things we can look at. I know people are always asking, like, how do you know that you're getting too deep or whatnot? There's a couple things, physiologically. I can look at resting heart rates. I can look at, O2 saturations and stuff like that. And there's little things that we can talk about there. But the big one that I think a lot of people don't realize is your mood. There's actually a questionnaire that you can do that looks at how you're feeling, how you're doing psychologically, and usually when you're having trouble sleeping, when you're in a grumpy mood, when you have mood swings, when you have all this stuff, a lot of those sort of things are good indicators that you're overtraining and you are pushing yourself too far. So based on how I'm feeling right now, like, I'm not having trouble sleeping, but I am definitely a lot more tired, fatigued. My mood, I definitely know I'm just like, meh, kind of a little bit more. So, those are all the little things that tell me that, like, okay, last week was a big week. This week, I wanted to be a big week, but last week might have been too big of a week. So I might need to back this week off just a little bit. So, and that's about it. This week is pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot to talk about. Hopefully this week kind of goes really good. I can get that aerobic stuff up still, and then head into that rest week. And then I got one more big week after that. And then it's 3 weeks to taper and it's race week. So this 16-week session and this build up is kind of coming to an end. We're going to hit